So we're here today with my 2023 Lincoln Aviator Black Label 3.0 liter twin turbo. I already have Brembo GT350 brakes up front. I did purchase this 4-piston rear kit from Houston Speed Freaks. I just took the lug nuts off my 84-pound rim and tire, and we're gonna do a little mock-up today. See if everything is gonna go together. I know the brake lines are going to be different, so tires need to be rotated anyway. 3,000 more miles, I'm throwing these garbage tires away. The whole car shakes since the day I got it. Junk. Michelin's here I come. First step is put it in brake service mode. There is a sequence you can do using the pedal and the key and the switch. Probably easier than powering up my new toy, but I bought this thing. I'm going to use it for something. My scan tool wouldn't put it in service mode. I think because there's a tune on it, because I've had other problems the tune has interfered with. Anyway, good idea to check your bolts on your spacers every once in a while. Mine were tight as hell, but I'll torque them back to 150. And just looking at the Aviator, I'm sure this brake line is much longer than a Ford. But now we're going to unbox the Houston Speed Freaks brake kit, which was packaged very, very nice. Like I had mentioned, huge rotor. All the parts are packaged very nicely. Brake lines, looks like new parking brake motors, brackets. We'll unwrap this stuff and lay it out. See what we got. Again, more, I don't know, in my opinion, high quality packing. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with one hand. Everything fits tight. There's that big, beautiful caliper. Lots of styrofoam. Massive 4-piston. And hopefully I got the correct side. Everything's made really nice. It appears that the electronic parking brake motors are the same left and right. Came with some bolts. Very nicely made brackets. They're also the same, so there's no left and right. Comes with 2 brake lines and 2 electric cables. And yeah, I guess I'm gonna reuse the original banjo bolt. So we're just gonna mock it up today. I don't feel like breaking the lines and having to bleed, but who knows? I might get enthusiastic. So let's see what we got. Of course, I did pull the wrong one out. So this thing weighs a ton. Fully loaded with pads. Compared to stock, it's bigger by a bunch. If it's anything like the front, I probably have to either cut or discard the splash pan, rock guard, whatever you want to call it. So we will see. So like any brake job, you pull the caliper off, hanging out of the way. If you're doing the rotor, you have to take the caliper bracket off. The bolts are some Super Duty Loctite. Every thread is a workout. I used the original bolts. The bolts that come with it don't go all the way through. 3 8mm bolts hold this shield on, or you can cut it. It looks like if I want to keep it, I'd have to cut it down here, but we're just going to discard it. And we're going to mock this up. Here's an unanticipated hiccup. This does not come off without pulling the axle. So I'm going to go grab the cutoff wheel. I mean, I could cut it there, but then it would be useless. So I'm just going to cut it straight up. And I'll be back. Alright, I cut off some of the cover. I don't think I had to cut anything on the top, but there it is. The bottom, this is what needed to be cut. I used a I used a Dremel cutoff wheel because that's all I had. Did go with the OEM bolts. You can see how they protrude a little bit. The bolts that came with the kit, there was a considerable amount of thread in the bracket that was exposed. They're too short, in my opinion. There's no way this will contact. I'm gonna button this up with some red Loctite. Caliper goes on, rotor goes on, my wheel spacer, and then just 2 bolts hold the. You see that tool right there? Hold that on. We're gonna transfer over the stock OEM parking brake motor. That way there, no wire adapter is needed. So the kit does come with a bunch of parts that you don't need. So, gonna double check the torque specs on this. Red Loctite for sure. Ford had Loctite on here that nearly killed me. Every last thread was a fight. All right, we're in reassembly. Pull the OEM EPC motor, no, electronic parking brake, off. Moved it over. It does come with new screws. They're too short, so use the screws from there. I just snugged them up good, no Loctite. We're getting close to buttoning this up and bleeding. Don't forget, 150 foot-pounds if you're running spacers. Do not use Loctite on the spacers. The wire plugs right in. I was able to feed a little bit extra through this retaining thing to give me some slack. I am a little concerned. If you're doing an Aviator, this brake line is going to be tight. So I don't want my brake fluid dripping all over the ground for a prolonged time. So I'm going to take this nut out to give me more slack and see how it goes. I'd hate to break this system and then have to put the old brakes back in because the hose don't reach and lose a bunch of $27 a liter brake fluid. So tighten these to, I had my wrench set to 40 with some red Loctite. I went a little more. They're probably about 50 foot-pounds. It doesn't seem like a lot compared to the Brembos, which are like 100 and something, but they're much bigger bolts. So everything bolted on like sweet. If I wasn't taking my time and having to, like I said, I cut a lot more than I had to. So it is looking fantastic. Once again, thank you, Travis. And if I can get this brake line back up, I'll show you my cool little pressure bleeder thing I have. I did mention earlier that it'd probably take me longer with my scan tool. My scan tool would not read the car. Could be because of the tune. So I'm not going to be able to activate ABS bleeding. So we'll see how it goes. I've bled them before without any type of special tools. So let me get a couple more tools and I'll be back. All right, we are all buttoned up. Again, use the torque wrench on these, 150. That's pretty tight, no Loctite. We did about 50 on these bolts. 85 on the adapter bracket bolts. I did 25 on that. I think factory spec is 18. Everything fit perfectly. Took this bracket off, 8mm, to give me slack to get the hose connected. Went right back into place. There's no pulling. It's exactly like factory. This one's a little bit snug. Just slid it through this zip tie retainer, and everything's buttoned up. It just needs some bleeding. I think I'm gonna go do the other side. Should take me no time at all. Driver's side is together, super easy. My partner did point out that why does this one have an R on it, and realized that I put them on the wrong side. To me, it's intuitive they go the other way, but I don't know. So one little glitch is that I used red Loctite on the caliper to bracket bolts, and there's a steel insert in the aluminum bracket, and the insert came out. So that was a whole little thing to get the insert back in. I red Loctited that and then used orange on the bolts. So again, I torqued my spacer lugs to 150, and I'm going to get out my pressure bleeder, and hopefully there's no issues. Everything went together smooth as silk. Well, my car has these retractable floorboards, so jacking this car up is a bear. The dealer won't even rotate for me. The wheels are so tight spoked, impossible to clean anything. These were so disgusting. This is only a 2-minute clean because that's all I got time for. But yeah, getting ready to do the bleeding.